previously we had the 3 prequel models and a bunch of prequel perks that went with Models Plus. So we've talked to a bunch of our clients, and we found out that most of you guys prefer the old trilogy models to the prequel models and would prefer to vote on prequel models at a later time and get the old trilogy models done first. So we've decided to take the prequel models that were originally slated for development and production next year and move those back onto the voting list. And we're going to take 3 models out of the list of voting options for the following years and bring those up to be developed and made next year. So those will be the ones that actually get made. But before we go into what's actually going to get made, let's just have a little heart-to-heart chat about how this process works in making model kits and what our plans are for the future. So making model kits at this level of quality and detail is incredibly time consuming in development, and it's incredibly expensive. And I don't know if everybody really fully understands how much time goes into the development phase and how costly it really is to produce a kit of this quality, and how much it costs us in time to be able to continue to process this. It is our passion to make these model kits, but they actually don't make us any money at all. That's just the reality. So we have found that the best way for us to be able to continue to produce these models at the scale that we're doing them in this way with these short runs is to be able to combine them into a package like this. And the Models Plus is just a glorified payment plan with still an option to full pay, which gives you some extra added perks and gives you an ability to have a little bit of a tighter, closed community with voting rights and more ability to communicate with us and our ability to give back to you guys as a more privileged community. And that's kind of what we wanted it to be like. But as a production, the only way for us to continue making those models is as that group of 3, to be able to get the right pricing and the bulk, and to be able to do the development with the right timing, which we all know that timing has been an issue, and we want to get all of that stuff corrected. So that's the way that this kind of has to go. So the way that the sign up is going to work is you guys will be able to sign up right away, and if we reach our goal, we're going to proceed, and then your first month, basically the deposit is 0, and then you'll start your first month at the end of that month. And if we don't get our number by the end of the first month that this is open, which should be, let's say this week through the end of next month, that this week the same time, so basically a month. So if we don't reach that number by the end of that month, then we will just shut down all of those orders and nobody will be charged. So there is a no risk, basically, buy-in of this system. So you guys don't have to worry about getting charged or anything. But we want to make sure that we can reach our goal and get all of this stuff made. Now, once we reach our goal, then if there's anybody that's an outlier that says, I really don't want all 3, I want to make sure that I can just get the 1, and I'm totally willing to pay full price. I don't want a discount. I don't want to save any money. I don't want to be part of a membership. I don't want any of these perks. Then there's going to be an opening and an offer for just purchasing something by itself, but that's only if we can get the right number of the bulk. So I just wanted to make that clear, and this is just how we're able to do this now. We're able to afford this within the way that the world is right now. So speaking of that, the models that we're making: Sandcrawler, B-Wing, and the A New Hope Death Star turret. So those are the 3 models that everybody seemed to really, really want to get made, and those are the ones that we're going to make. Now, the Sandcrawler, the studio scale version, is about 4 feet long. So that one by itself would take up the entire budget of the entire Models Plus. Like, that's somebody's entire year. So we're not going to go that far with it. What we're going to do is we're going to shrink it down to half studio scale, which is going to be around 22 inches. Now, if you haven't watched our video on how we do the model kit parts, we're going to use the exact same process. We're going to be working with Chris, and I forget it off the top of my head, but the main guy who's been doing all the research for the Sandcrawler. We're working with both of them to make sure that we get all of this perfect, but we will collect all of the model kit parts. We'll still do the scanning and then the remodeling to make sure that every kit part is perfect. And then we're just going to shrink it down to half scale and then apply them to the proper way, and then engineer this to be a fantastic half studio scale model that actually can fit on a shelf. It'll fit on a 12-inch shelf. So there'll be plenty of ways to make sure that this can be displayed. The B-Wing will be studio scale 1/24. The Death Star turret is pretty big. I think it's like 10 by 10, something like that. And it's like this big. So they're pretty good size pieces. So you'll still get your main perks, all the membership type perks. There's not going to be any giveaway free gift type items except for STL files. So we're going to still give away free 3D files that go along with these, like diorama pieces, like some droids and some Ewoks, and we're going to come up with stuff for the B-Wing, come up with stuff with the Death Star turret. So we're going to come up with some cool stuff to give out throughout the year and make for all that kind of stuff. So as soon as we reach our goal, then we can start talking about how much we can devote towards all the free stuff, the free 3D files. So that's exciting. So we're still going to do that, but no free t-shirts or art or any of that stuff. We're going to devote those funds towards paying the people for the research on old trilogy work. So that's where that's going to go. But I just wanted to let you guys know that that's the reality of being able to get into something like this and get the stuff done for next year. So that's the plus. That is the big holiday discount that's coming up. So take advantage of the discount for Models Plus. I think there's going to be a coupon for that as well that you can spread the love back towards some 3D files or spread the love back towards an ESB ATST. Oh, speaking of, those should be here in stock by the end of this week or next week. That's the plan. So you'll actually be able to receive them being shipped. So hop on and grab one of those as soon as possible. So that's going to be awesome. Thank you guys very much. We will talk to you soon and look forward to being able to post updates on all of these new 3D adventures. Thanks. Bye.